Alright guys, we're going to take a quick look at Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. This batch A121, which comes in at 123.6 proof. I am incredibly excited for this. As it may has come up before, Stag Junior batch 13 and Larceny Barrel Proof batch B520 are easily my two favorite barrel proof bourbons I've ever had. So this is big shoes to fill, and I hope that this lives up to the hype, but we're about to find out. Bold nose. I'm getting like orange, chocolate, lots of cherry, some sugar, brown sugar. The chocolate almost reminds me of like, I've read some reviews on this and I know I'm stealing something from them when I say this. It reminds me of a Tootsie Roll. Definitely chocolate, little bit of oak. It smells relatively sweet. The interesting part being that there's a little bit of that orangey, citrusy, almost like a orange zest, or maybe a lemon zest, but it's definitely more an orange type of citrus. But it's got a lot going on for it, and I'm here for it. It smells good. I'm enjoying everything I'm getting out of it, especially that sort of Tootsie Roll kind of chocolate. But, alright. As it's airing out, it's getting a little bit sweeter, but like a dry sweetness. Like, a little bit of oak. Maybe a little allspice. It almost seems more like a toffee. And it's almost a sweeter vanilla. A lot of reviews I see say that it's more like a vanilla bean, but I'm getting a little bit more in between a vanilla bean and like a French vanilla, like your typical sweet vanilla. That's as this is sitting, as I'm swirling it around. I'm getting a little bit of it. Obviously, the chocolate, the cherry, a little bit of that orange, the sugar. That's what I'm, mostly getting. But let's give it a try. Okay. That Kentucky Hug is better than Stag. And I can't believe I'm saying that because that's my favorite Kentucky Hug is Stag. And I think it just got beaten out. Which is interesting because this proof point is one of the lower ones for the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. It can go as high as the mid 130s. This is the second lowest behind, I want to say, it said it somewhere. I want to say it's B519. Yeah, which came in at 122.2. This is hardly a proof point higher. But wow, the Kentucky Hug. All right, now let's focus on the flavors because I completely skipped that. Cinnamon, some caramel, caramelized sugar. I'm still getting a little bit of that orange, but it's almost like a chocolate covered orange, but without the chocolate. Because the chocolate covered orange almost has that different kind of taste where there's a sweetness combating it. It gives me that feeling where I'm not getting a straight orange, but I'm getting like orange with some sweetness, so it gives that distinct sort of flavor. I know that that's just I'm tasting regular orange with sweet things, but the two together gives me that particular. It's reminiscent of that particular thing. I'm getting like it's not peanut, like cashew, pistachio, almond, like lighter, smaller nuts. Giddy. But it's like unsalted, unroasted. It's almost like you made like almond butter, pistachio butter, like making peanut butter but with different nuts. It's almost like that kind of like there's some sugar in it. It's smooth, it's velvety, it almost like spreads out across your tongue. The finish, excuse me. Finish, I'm getting cinnamon, clove, Getting a little bit of that vanilla. It's like it's almost desserty, like the toasted barrel is, but it's not to that extent. It has very dessert like notes to it, and it has its sweetness, but that warmth is unlike anything I've ever had. And I'm so glad I have this bottle. This might be my favorite barrel proof I've ever had. Um, Very interesting flavors, very interesting combination of the chocolatey, orangey kind of flavor. I wish that Tootsie Roll like chocolate translated a little bit more into the palate, but it picked out the orange. It picked out sort of the sweetness, the sugar, the caramelized kind of flavor, um, and the cinnamon develops as you taste it because the cinnamon on the nose is like getting overpowered. It's there a little bit, but the sweet aromas of it are shining through. And as you take a sip, the cinnamon has its chance because it's a much bolder flavor on your tongue, at least for me. Um, and I tend to be able to pick it out easier, and I'm getting a lot of it in the best way. It's not like straight cinnamon stick, but it's also not like a powdered cinnamon. It's like in between. Um, it's not too sweet. It has that distinct cinnamon flavor, um, and some caramel. Um, but this everything about this from start to finish, I love it. There are parts that I wish were better, but how much can I complain if I like it so much? If you can find this, especially this batch, get it. I think the lower proof point helps the flavors come out a little bit more while still maintaining that heat and that Kentucky hug that, again, beats out Stag Junior in my opinion. And I love Stag Junior. I say loved as if this makes it no longer exist, but this beats it out for sure. This might just be my favorite I've ever had. So yeah, I'm gonna have trouble making this bottle last if I'm being honest. um, See you guys in the next review.